Live. Okay, never mind.
All right, we're live.
Okay.
Hey, and welcome back to just another effing podcast. We are back from our break, and we have in studio at the Worldwide Studios for effing Wrestling, we got Bryan Clark, better known as Adam Bomb and Wrath. Welcome to the show.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, excellent, man. Excellent. So I know Canada Dry, you have a question you want to ask first.
Okay, so just to kind of break the ice here, we were chit-chatting and effing wrestling in our group, and someone wanted to ask probably something that you've never been asked before.
Okay.
When you were Adam Bomb, did your poop radiate from the radiation?
No. That's the first, right? Yeah, I've had other questions about radiation, but not that one.
I also thought they should have had a guy in a hazmat as your manager. I think that would have been cool.
Yeah, that'd have been a good idea. Yeah, that's funny, but yeah, okay. I've had women ask me other stuff. Hey man, that's a whole, I don't know. We'll bypass that.
Yeah. We're gonna try to keep this at least PG-13.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Hey, I got friends that are watching. Come on, killing me.
Yeah. All right, so the question I want to start with,
Okay.
we're both of us are huge superhero fans, so we want to know the origin story of Bryan Clark. Like, what got you into wrestling in the first place?
Man, I got hooked on it really early, at an early age. I'm originally from Florida. I've been in Arizona for, 15 years or so. But I grew up in Florida and watched a lot of Florida Championship wrestling.
Yeah.
But I've told the story a lot, but I actually went with my grandmother to my very first match when they would come through my hometown. And it wasn't very often. It was every few months or so, but she always got ringside seats, man. And I would just ease my way down out of the general admission and hang out with her, and I'd get the works.
Grandmother's rock.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, that had to be her soap opera. That's all I could think of. But
you had an awesome grandma.
Yeah, she, I got over with her, so
That's awesome. So, what wrestlers did you look up to growing up as a kid?
I looked up to a lot of them or all of them. But when I really got into it, I had a few favorites. Stan the Man Hansen, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorf. I liked a little bit of everybody. It seemed like just the really rough and tough, vicious type guys. I really I like that style at least.
So Paul recently passed away. Did you
Yes.
get to wrestle with him at all?
Did I what?
Did you get to wrestle with Paul Orndorf at all?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's really cool.
And I'll tell you how it happened. Not when he was, because I didn't come into WWF until '93. Of course, he was long gone. But Paul was working in Smoky Mountain Wrestling for Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
And Paul also was working other independents. And I got to work Paul on an independent near Atlanta. He put me over to Cornette, and that got my foot in the door at Smoky Mountain.
Wow.
So Paul.
So not only was he your hero, he also really helped you in your career.
Absolutely. And I've always said it, and I'm very blessed by that. We used to travel together from Atlanta up to the Smoky Mountain areas, wherever we were booked. And yeah, man, he was just a great guy. Loved traveling with him, loved being around him and all the stories and absorbing everything I could from him. So he was a great man. Absolutely.
So how'd you get hooked up with Vern in AWA?
Wow, you're going way back.
Yeah.
I was still in college playing college football.
Where'd you go to college?
Central Missouri.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I played there. Then that's a pretty good story too. I just finished up my military commitment, and my last assignment. I wanted to play college football forever because I didn't get to play high school sports, and I got on the Air Force powerlifting team. And so I built myself up I told myself that I was over in Europe. And so wherever I got stationed in the U.S. that's where I was going to walk on. I didn't care where it was at. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
It just happened to be that my last assignment was very close, like 10 miles away from Central Missouri. I walked on while I was in the military, which you couldn't do that. These days, there's no way that happened.
Yeah, not even close.
I walked on, got a full ride, and I started as a freshman.
Wow.
Defensive tackle playing for Central Missouri. And then a couple of years after that's when I met Ox Baker.
Yeah.
Ox really sweetheart of a guy, great fun, just great to be around. But Paul really could not. I'm sorry, Ox could not really train me. It just didn't have. He was a brawler, you know what I mean, and I really needed actual training, and so that's how I ended up going from there. As soon as I graduated, moved to Atlanta and met up with Jody Hamilton and Dwayne Bruce. Yep. So those two guys are also very great help throughout my career with Jody. I just came down on a handshake basically, and that was it. And again, blessed by having that guy in my life also.
Yeah, I remember watching on. I had a good friend, Jim Dormady, and he had a satellite dish. I didn't, so he got AWA stuff, and the Night Stalker gimmick was just freaking awesome.
I was green as grass. I had no idea. I had no idea what I was doing. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like I said, Ox didn't love him to death, but he didn't teach me anything, man. I was way over my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it. I mean, you look smooth in that ring, man. I tell you.
God, I don't even want to ever see any of those matches.
I've even gone back when we knew we were having you. I went back on YouTube and watched a couple of your matches.
Oh,
Still looks
sweet.
sweet.
They had to be horrible.
Speaking of YouTube, I was looking on YouTube last night, and I found a match where you were partnered with Owen Hart.
Okay.
Versus Macho Man and Brett.
Okay.
And it seemed like he was in Japan or something. I'm not sure.
Could have been, yeah. I worked with Randy on a few occasions, singles and tags, and same thing with Owen. I worked Owen a lot, singles, tags. We were on the road so much. They tried to change it up, especially when we went to Europe. But that particular match could have been Japan. Yeah.
So what was it like working with Owen, and did he ever get any ribs in on you?
Oh yeah, of course. Come on, he got everybody.
So what did he do to you?
Well, he would get me in the ring, like we'd be working and stuff, and I'd headlock, take him over, whatever, keep me down for a bit. But he'd start untying my shoes or my boots in the middle of the match. Just a little crazy.
Classic Owen move there.
Yeah. So by the time the match is over, my boots are about to fall off, man. Yeah. He was hilarious though, man. He always, between him and Davey, oh my God, and them two going at it, and then mixing in Bryan Adams, and forget about it, man.
Yeah.
Hilarious stuff.
Did you ever get one in on Owen?
Did I ever get one?
Yeah, did you ever get one on him?
I wasn't really a big rib person. I don't think I did, other than maybe a prank phone call to Max. I mean, I just never did. He was the master, I knew it. So
take it as with a grain of salt and be as an honor.
Yeah, no big deal. They were harmless ribs. It was, nothing.
Yeah. So I know that you wrestled in UWF for Herb Abrams.
Yeah.
What
a cup of coffee,
like,
basically.
Yeah. What was it like wrestling in the Wild Wild West with Herb Abrams?
Well, the Wild Wild West actually took place, I think, in South Carolina. I think. Yeah. It was only one or two shows, and I think Paul also got me booked on those. So really, just a couple of TV tapings is all I remember. I don't even really remember meeting Herb, honestly.
Oh wow.
Yeah. There was nothing bad that I can remember.
Yeah, because it's legendary status about in that time during UWF.
Yeah, I think it was towards the very end of it, or I don't know. Just I don't remember a whole lot about it.
Yeah. So who came up with the Night Stalker gimmick?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I don't know if you remember this old 70s TV series with this guy named Carl Kolchak, which was okay. So yeah, that's where I got the name.
Oh,
and
cool.
Then I said he was from Wickenburg, Arizona.
Yeah.
I just sort of made it up. Yeah.
I mean, we're talking for Canada Dry, who might not know this. Night Stalker was the precursor, if you will, to the X-Files. He hunted vampires and aliens. And, it was such a great show.
Oh yeah, he was a news reporter who always they ended up, just about to get everything.
So was that your gimmick? Was that your gimmick in AWA? Were you kind of like that character?
Not,
totally different?
Not really. I just carried like this big battle axe, and I would just my size and everything. But in Smoky Mountain, once I got there, it became very much like a headhunter type kind of thing because I had Kevin Sullivan as my manager, and it was sort of like protect him at all costs kind of gimmick,
Yeah.
And I loved it, man. Working in Smoky with all that talent there, it was great.
What was Kevin Sullivan like to work with? He's an interesting character.
Loved it. Some really big. We had some good bloodbaths there in Smoky Mountain area. But yeah, Kevin was excellent, man. He very good to work with. I was very lucky to have him as my manager. And so, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Who did most of the booking at Smoky Mountain when you were there?
I would say Jim for like all of it, I guess. I don't know. There may have been, I know Dutch Mantell was there also. So I'm sure that, they bounced ideas, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But I don't quite know for sure.
Was it fun working with Cornette?
Loved it, man.
Yeah.
I look back on that and people ask me, but to me, that was the most fun without the stress and the pressure of other companies. You know what I mean? It was just like, just go out and have a blast and enjoy, the atmosphere. It was no pressure. So I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Smoky Mountain. I used to watch that. Again, my buddy who had access to satellite and therefore got everything under the sun. Smoky Mountain was probably one of my favorite federations going in late 80s, early 90s, even mid 80s. It was just, it was absolutely amazing. The production quality alone was fantastic.
And it was just a regional promotion, but a lot of people did watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a harder question here. I was reading a lot of stuff to prepare for this on the internet.
Don't believe everything you read.
Okay, so you can verify this, or you can.
I'll give you the whole shoot. I'll give you the shoot, bro. Go ahead.
Okay, so did the Click stop your run from getting bigger in WWE?
I don't know if they stopped it.
Messed around with it or whatever.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I know a lot of the guys had Vince's ear, but it's hard to say. I mean, I don't know absolutely 100% for sure. I don't know. I mean, there could have been other reasons.
Because it seemed like you were ready to be like the next sort of Ultimate Warrior. Like you were so over as a face that it just like didn't make sense what happened.
I don't know. I was much more high flyer than Ultimate Warrior, so
I know, but you had that look, sort of, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say, man. I don't know. I had a couple of injuries and but I mean, I was always there. I never failed a drug test. I was always on time. I did everything I was supposed to do. It just was one of those things, man. It happens to different people in different.
So didn't you lose to lose to Earthquake at one of the WrestleManias in a squash match?
Yeah.
Like, what's the deal with that? That didn't make sense. It didn't even help Earthquake's career.
I know, exactly. Well, and the weird thing about it is that I'd worked him in Japan Europe for like 10 or 12 nights in a row. So we had like a 15-minute match. We had a damn good. You do that. You go to Europe, prepare for Mania. At least that's where they used to do it. Yeah. And we worked out a great match, had it, and then because of everything that ran I think they were going to scrap it originally, and then they just said, no, let's go do this. And they squashed me in a minute or so. But if you look back, they've done that to other guys too. So it's not like I'm just the only one. You know, there are a lot of guys that have. I think Triple H got beat like that, and a lot of guys. It was just a timing thing, you know.
Yeah. Well, let's talk WWE. Who got you in the door with WWE?
You mean the second time?
Yeah, or the first time, whichever one.
Oh, yeah, okay. The first time, I was still in Smoky Mountain, and I got a call from. I got a call. I think Jim got a call, and then he told me, Slaughter wanted me to come up to the next TV tapings, which were in the Carolinas, and so they brought me up for 2 nights, and they hired me on the first night.
Wow.
Yep, hired me the first night, and then I still worked the second night, dark matches. But yeah, and they said, okay, we're going to come up with a gimmick for you. Just go home and finish up your other commitments and stuff, and then we'll bring you in.
So who came up with the Adam Bomb gimmick?
Tom Fleming.
Tom Fleming?
No doubt. Yep. As a matter of fact, Tom and I have just reconnected about a few months ago. We've got he now works for Marvel Comics, so it tells you how good he is.
Oh wow, cool.
We have a 2021 Adam Bomb T-shirt, poster, the works, man. It's over PWTs if anybody wants it. But it's if you're a Marvel Comics type person and you like that artwork, it is amazing. I gave him all my ideas of what I wanted, and he put it together, man. It pops.
Yeah, it was a great gimmick. The green eyes, the red tongue. How'd you get your red tongue?
Man, I can't be giving away these.
It was probably a red sucker or a red pup.
I used to drink red Kool-Aid. We used to wrestle in my backyard.
Where's that? He got it. It was
I drank red Kool-Aid so I get the red tongue.
That's what I did. That was it. But I just did the powder. I came up with that, and then I actually mentioned to them about getting the contacts, and they flew me into Manhattan, and I had because these are contacts also, and so his, I talked them into getting me the same contacts. You know what I mean, with my vision, So they were actually working contacts. They weren't just the gimmick,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How much of a pain in the ass were they? Because I'm sure they're not the soft kind like they are now.
Yeah, they were a little bit. I got them knocked out a couple of times, but for the most part, they stayed in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a filmmaker by trade, and the hard contacts to get like the white eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
such a pain to get people to put them in, and
these were not real hard. These were actually soft.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. They spent some money on it, on that part at least.
They're just dropping money, man. Dropping money for Adam Bomb.
Yeah, but not into my pockets. But yeah.
So who was some of the guys you liked working with your first run in WWE?
Oh man, I worked everybody. I mean, I worked Taker and 20 or 30 casket matches. I mean, I worked with Brett. I worked with Randy. I worked with Owen, as you mentioned earlier. Earthquake for a little while. Bam Bam. I know I'm forgetting people, but there's just so many. I mean, it seems like I was on the road for 290 days plus appearances. I mean, I worked. It seemed like Yoko. Anybody else in that era, I feel like I worked just about everybody. If I missed somebody, then I don't know who it would be.
Yeah. So a follow-up question to that would be, so who are you still in contact today from the WCW, WWE?
Oh man. Talk to Sean Stasiak, and then some of the newer guys over in AEW. Stay in touch with Justin Roberts, the announcer over there. Recently been talking with Lance Archer. I think his work's excellent.
Yeah.
Big man of style. I know there are others. I have to go through my phone. I just I've been so busy with this whole social media. But yeah, a few guys I do stay in touch with, yes. And of course, when I go to appearances and signings and stuff, I get to see, everybody.
Yeah, it must be a surprise to see some people you haven't seen for a long time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm going to SummerSlam. I'll be there for an appearance, and Booker T, who I've not got to see in a long time, will be there. Juventud. I got to see him a couple of years ago in New York at an appearance, but I'll see him again. He was recently.
Did you watch his match with Jericho?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh, yeah,
man. Still got it. Like that guy
I told Hoovy, I sent him a message. I said, "Man, they missed the boat." I said, "You look great, everything looked good, but they did not give you the mic, and that's where they messed up. They ruined it, man." I was like, if they would have given him the mic for 30 seconds and let him do his gimmick, it would have got over big.
Yeah,
or bigger, I should say. It was still great. I mean, I'm big fan.
I love seeing Hoovy.
Oh yeah, man!
Because that guy looks in phenomenal shape.
Yeah, he has, and he looked good even right pre-COVID when I got to see him. He was working. He was actually working. I was just signing autographs.
Yeah,
and he had a hell of a match there too. So yeah.
All right, so we got a question from a fan. Wants to know if you have any Bobby Eaton stories.
Not well, just from Smoky Mountain, a little bit. When he says a story, it's just what a great guy he was. I mean, just the nicest sweetheart of a guy, man. Always, he would laugh with the boys, and just, I mean, sit and have his beer, but he was just super cool, laid back. He always called me Stalk. Hey, Stalk. That's Stalker. Stalker. Some people call me Stalker. He said, "Hey, Stalk." He called me that. And but yeah, man, it just another great guy we lost.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was. We did an episode about tag teams, and I picked out Midnight Express, and I'm like, he was. I mean, beautiful Bobby Eaton was just. He could wrestle a broom and make it look like a world.
That leg drop, the Alabama Jam, man.
Oh yeah,
that was phenomenal.
Yeah,
Loved
absolutely. It's a shame that we lost him.
Yeah.
So going to WCW, how much of a change was that? Obviously, WWE has their own way of wrestling, and then you have everybody else.
Right.
So what was the transition like going from WWE to WCW?
Well, when I left Vince, there was a 6-month no compete clause. Yeah. So I went over to Europe and worked for a company called Hammerlock Wrestling. Worked with those guys until my 6 months was up because Vince was trying to starve us out.
Yeah,
which is just the way they work. Which is you couldn't do that these days. I mean, it's like me telling you can't have a podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, so night and day. Absolutely loved working for Ted Turner and TBS and Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
And my salary, like 5 times the amount of money.
Whew.
Yeah. It just, I mean, you would, because Vince was going through a steroid trial back during the dark era.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I have had enough of this.
Yeah.
It's time to get paid. And so, I loved it, man. And any issues I had, I could always talk to Eric. He was really good about that. He would make time for me. Whereas in New York, I had to go through 10 people just to get to Vince. And just was, to me, I felt like it seemed like for paying my dues, working for Vince that hard and that much, and never seeing my family, I felt like I got rewarded by working for TBS.
Yeah.
Turner. Yeah. That's sort of the way it felt to me,
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely, it was strange to not see you on WWE TV. And then I'm flipping through the channels and I come up on WCW and I'm like, holy crap, that's Wrath. Wrath looks like Adam Bomb. Is this the same guy? And my buddy goes, oh yeah, it's him. It's Bryan Clark. And I'm like, oh, this is so awesome. He's on WCW now.
Yeah, man. Yep.
So what did you think of the concept of, because I know that you and Mortis took on Glacier and that whole Mortal Kombat video game style that you guys were going with.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you dig it?
Yeah, at first I did. And it was Eric's idea. But he let us come up with our own names. That's why I chose Wrath, which is one of the 7 deadly sins kind of gimmick, you know. And so he let us really do a lot that we wanted to do with it, but it was still in the whole Mortal Kombat kind of setting, and style. But it was just a timing thing where that was just that put so much money into it. I mean, I spent like 6 months at a dojo doing kickboxing, judo, karate, everything. So I did all that getting ready for the gimmick. And then about the time it was about to debut is when NWO came in and they started. It just watered it down. We didn't really. We still were on a lot of cards and pay-per-views and stuff, but it just didn't. It wasn't the time for it. I guess it maybe missed that window. I'm guessing.
Yeah, because once NWO kind of showed up, everything kind of went second level. You know, new card and everything like that. So.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, which you can't blame. I mean, NWO is one of the greatest factions ever.
Correct. Yep.
So,
can you tell us about Canyon?
Yeah,
like the innovator of
Chris Canyon.
Can I do what?
Chris Canyon. Can you tell us about him?
Oh yeah, man. Chris could work his ass off, man. Hell of a talent. Could do everything. But he also had a lot of personal demons that he was dealing with. I didn't travel with him and James Mitchell. I traveled by myself, but I think I did it one time, and I was just like, you know, I'd already been on the road for 3 years up north, 290 plus. You know, I'm like, I'm coming down here. I'll get my old car. I'll see you guys at the show, man. Because it was just like they were just going at it all the time, and I said,
yeah,
dude, the road is hard enough. I don't need this listening to this drama. You know,
I think the fact that he was gay and was still in the closet about it really hurt him psychologically, right?
Maybe. I just was always just, I don't know, man. There was just something off with him all the time psychologically, it seemed like, but it never affected his work. I mean, he was a great worker. I got along with him fine. I just know that he just seemed unhappy, even though he was doing all the stuff he was doing.
Yeah. It's a shame. He was. I've always said that Chris Canyon is probably one of the most underrated wrestlers in wrestling today, and still today. I mean, I don't think anybody had that work ethic that he had. You know,
as soon as they got that Mortis mask off him, then he was really able to flash.
Yeah.
When we sort of disbanded, and everybody went their own way, which that enabled me to do Wrath the way I wanted to.
Yeah.
Which I sort of merged a little bit of Wrath and Adam Bomb together.
Yeah.
Look back at it, come up with that meltdown finisher.
Yeah.
And
that meltdown finisher is sweet.
And then went on an undefeated streak for, I don't know, 7-8 months or something like that.
Yeah. So I remember reading that you were supposed to have a go with Goldberg and was kind of put down to the side after you lost to Kevin Nash. Was this NWO booking? Was this?
I'm not quite sure who had the book.
Yeah.
But I think their reasoning or their logic behind it is that, I was undefeated. So Kevin would beat me, which was like a month before he would beat Bill.
Yeah.
So he beat me, and then he beat my undefeated streak, and then he beat Bill's even bigger undefeated streak. And so I think that was their reasoning behind it, from what I can understand. I'm not sure who had the book at the time.
Yeah.
We actually had a pretty good big man match, considering,
Yeah, that Kevin Nash and Wrath was a really great match. I love watching just two big guys going at it with each other.
Yeah, you don't see it that often. So yeah.
Now, how tall are you?
I'm 6'6".
6'6".
Yep. But probably with the boots on, I might have been 6'7". I don't know.
Yeah.
So your partner, Bryan Adams, he was even taller, right?
Nope. Same.
Oh, you guys were the same height.
Yep.
Okay, so that team of Chronic, if you guys had been able to just
You
keep
mean this
going
team?
and-
Yeah, this team right here.
yeah, if that team had been able to keep going on WCW and WWE, I'm pretty sure you guys would have been as big as the Road Warriors. Just how good you guys were in the ring, like two big guys like you just dominating. It was amazing.
That was another probably even way better than Smoky Mountain. Best time of my career. Teaming with Bryan, he was the absolute best. I couldn't have asked for a better partner. We were both former military veterans, both 6'6", both 290 plus, could do everything. Man, we were just a runaway freight train. I mean, we were just killing it from day one. So yeah, I mean, we ended up getting the All Japan titles, so the WCW tag team titles twice, the All Japan straps. Just the best guy too. I mean, I love being around him, man. He just was so funny traveling with him. I mean, because we worked out together, traveled together, everything. With anybody else, I would have said, no way, man, I need a break. But with Bryan, I wanted to be around him because he made me laugh.
Yeah.
he would make me laugh so much I would be crying.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I've said this before. It's like, pull the car over or stop talking because I cannot, I cannot breathe right now. You're killing me.
So there was that. So there was instant chemistry between the two of you. Have you guys teamed up before?
No, we didn't know that before.
Okay.
And we learned so much about each other, right after that. Yeah, man, it was a perfect storm for us, man, to come together. It was. I wish we would have done it since day one.
Yeah,
and it's such a shame what WWE did with you in the later bit there with Undertaker and Kane. Like that was a disaster.
Well, and there's a few reasons behind that. I mean, if you look back at it, we had been off for one whole year. During that time, Bryan and Taker had been talking because they're friends. And so he convinced Bryan to come up. And I told Bryan, I said, man, we need to go to Japan as soon as our WCW money is done with. Japan is where we need to be.
Yeah.
Well, no, let's go do this. And I was like, okay. And because, we're a team, but, we're not going to argue about it and stuff. Yeah. And I trusted his judgment on it. But remember, Bryan left Vince on sort of shaky ground, and I left him on shaky ground. There was underlying heat. There always was, always has. No big deal. I don't care. But it is what it is. And so we went up there and worked. We weren't even there for a couple of weeks. But again, when I got there, I said, I suggested this to some of the agents. I said, we need to go on the road for a couple of weeks and work a couple of weeks before you go hot-shotting this pay-per-view angles. Oh, no, we'll do it. It'll be fine. So we had like one or two squash matches on one TV, and next thing you know, we're in a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But in that pay-per-view, if you watch it or if anyone looks at it, it's not a good match, and we knew that it wouldn't be going in. But if you look at it, Kane had a big staph infection on his arm. It was a big elbow. You look at his arm, how swollen. Taker had a blown-out shoulder, or something was wrong with his shoulder. I had a neck issue, which I would later have operated on. And Bryan had some back issues. And so all that part of it, if we would just worked a couple of weeks, no, it's not going to heal those injuries, but you can work those guys for a couple of weeks and have a good pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
But instead, they just do the whole hot shot thing, and it fell apart.
Yeah. How surprised were you that WWE bought WCW? Because I know Bischoff and John, or not John, but Hervey, the guy from the Wonder Years, got financing. We're ready to buy out WCW, and Vince came in, swooped in, and got it for a song.
Yeah. I was surprised. I was at home. I was recovering from a concussion.
Yeah.
I had 30 staples in the top of my head. Real fun.
Who gave you the concussion? Side note.
Well, it was a pure accident. Animal did it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
We were working a tag match, and Luger shot me into the rail, and Animal was coming through the crowd with a steel chair, and some kids were in the way. But the spot was he's got to nail me as soon as I hit the railing. Well, he did, and he did it full speed, but the steel rim of the chair caught me, and it laced me open. So I had 30 staples. Yeah, man, I was just. I didn't know. I thought somebody threw a bucket of blood on me or something. I was back in the Carrie movie or something. I mean, there was that much blood. Anyway, so I ended up in the Baltimore hospital, knocked out. And bless his soul, Bryan stayed with me all night long, man. What a partner, man. Yeah, looking after me. We flew back the next morning. I still had my boots on, dried blood everywhere. You can never do that now.
Yeah,
of course, but yeah, that's that's how that happened.
So, was there writing on the wall? I mean, it's infamous about WCW and kind of their momentous fall from grace. I mean, was there writing on the wall that this was eventually going to happen, that they were going to sell out to someone?
Well, they had the big AOL Time Warner merger. And so I think that had a lot to do with it. I think they were feeling pressure to get out of the hole with it, even though it was making money prior to that. So it just, you can see it. I mean, you knew something was going to happen, but again, a lot of people thought that they didn't think Vince was going to buy it.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it had to be a surprise when Shane shows up in the locker room and is telling you guys, hey, we just bought you guys out.
Well, and we still had our contract, so we just we're sitting at home because we'd already signed our deal, so we were paid. But it still was it put a whole different look on the business, Just when there's only one show in town, that's not really good for anybody.
So
did you go ahead?
No, go ahead.
So who did you hate working with? Who's someone that you absolutely despise working with?
Oh, man. Man, Virgil was hard to work with. Jeez. I don't know if he's just clumsy or what the hell. He's the only person I can think about right off the top of my head. Everybody else I could work around or work with or do my high-flying stuff or whatever. But with Virgil, man, I don't know what the hell he was thinking sometimes. I'm just like, dude, I'm going to power bomb your ass if you don't calm down real quick. Yeah, off the top, he's the one only I could think of off the top. I mean, I'm sure there are others. And then people say that about me. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
So we got a question from a fan. It says, if Adam Bomb became a heel manager, who would he choose to pair together and manage as a team?
So who would I manage as a team?
Yeah.
So I've got to manage a tag team.
Yeah.
Of the current rosters.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go current.
Well, man, I'd want to be with Lance Archer, man, but he doesn't have a partner, so I'd have to find another monster to go with him. So maybe Braun Strowman.
Oh, yeah, the two monsters
together. I mean, come on, who's going to stop those guys?
Oh, no one.
Nobody.
So yeah, if I'm going to put a team together, I'm looking right there.
So we got another question. Adam Bomb would have been great ECW champion during the height of the promotion. Bomb versus RVD would have been a classic. Did you ever consider working for Paul Heyman?
I think that I was under contract every time that when they were on their roll. But yeah, I would have loved to work with Rob, man. I've always had respect for him and his work. I think he's great. Another talent that doesn't get the recognition. I think, even though he just got put into the Hall of Fame, I still just think his work is amazing. Has always been. Yep.
So let's talk about where your favorite. I mean, obviously, Smoky Mountain Wrestling is your favorite promotion by far, right?
As in the beginning of my career, but tagging with Bryan was the absolute the pinnacle. Winning all Japan titles with him, nothing compares to that.
So let's talk favorite matches. What would go down as two of your favorite matches?
That of mine?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. There are a lot of them. I think that usually I guess for the biggest part when you win a title. So the bash at the beach was the big one when we beat Stasiak and Palumbo.
Yeah.
One thing was the fact that I blew my back out a few days prior to. So I laid up, had taken a couple of pain pills and was curled up in a ball over. This is a shoot, man. I was that much pain.
Yeah.
And I laid in the corner of the locker room, just not moving, with my feet sort of propped up. And Bryan was like, we knew we were getting the straps, and I said, "There's no way I'm missing this match." And so I got on a super hard back brace, and I ended up doing the high flying off the top rope for the finish, the flip off the apron. I did everything for the match. So that one sticks out in my mind. Maybe it's not a 4-star.
So were you in a lot of pain afterwards?
We were just I'll tell you how bad I hurt so bad. And I took those 2 pain pills on an empty stomach because I didn't want to move. I felt so bad. And they even asked me, Bischoff even came says, "Are you going to be able to do this?" I'm like, "Yes, I will do it. No matter how bad I look right now, when that bell rings, I will be in there." But yeah, even after the match, man, I got so violently sick.
Yeah.
I just remember just throwing up, man. But I wouldn't trade not winning those straps with Bryan, no matter what. So that was one, and the others are, of course, winning the All Japan titles.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of fun matches we had against like Ray and Wwe as Chronic versus the Filthy Animals in WCW. Those tag matches, always fun because I could throw Ray and Wwe up and down anywhere I wanted to, So that was always fun. Yeah.
So we got another question. With women wrestling becoming the norm in main eventing, who is your favorite retired women's wrestler and current women's wrestler? And if you had a crush on one.
Never had a crush on one. You stay away. You separate work from, and that's work. So no, not even with the Nitro girls or any of that stuff. Not saying I didn't have offers, but I'm just saying no. Current workers, Charlotte, of course, is doing great things. I think Mandy Rose has a lot of talent. God, there's a lot, man. I see so much. There's so much going on now with basically 3 companies running.
Yeah.
I really like Chris Statlander. I think she's got a lot to offer.
Where is she? Where's she at?
She's AEW. She plays the alien gimmick in
okay.
AEW.
I haven't got a chance. Maybe I did see her, but just not.
Yeah, watch her. I think you'll really like her.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
I always that's the one show that I make sure I watch just because I got some friends.
They're hanging right now. Like they're hitting over 1 million every show.
Yeah, I'm one of those. I mean, I enjoy it. Just there's always stuff you do not like.
Yeah.
On anything. I can watch it. I enjoy it, and I like watching Chris and all the guys that I know that I work with. And, it's cool. Hell, that hardcore match they had a couple of weeks ago was great. I mean, it lived up to, and it told the story and the progression of what they're doing, which is they're telling a story finally that you can follow. Old previous women wrestling. God, there wasn't a whole lot of it back then.
Yeah,
I don't know who to say on that one.
Okay. So we got another question.
Fabulous Moolah, brother.
So we got another question. Do you think Stasiak and Sanders blabbing about the WCW plans in WWE caused Vince to squash the WCW brand?
No, he was going to do that without. anyone's input. I mean, come on. He didn't need Stasiak or Mike to say anything about it. No.
Yeah. Vince does what Vince wants to do.
Yeah, he was going to get a receipt for that 83 weeks of beatdown he got.
Oh, yeah. It's called payback, baby.
and we got paid, so he could, do whatever.
Well, even in his Triple H's match with Sting, he was still getting revenge for WCW.
And that's that's pretty petty. I mean, come on, man. Give it a rest. Take a day off from being yourself, man. Yeah. Come on. Jeez.
So what do you think of the current product? Not just WWE, but Ring of Honor, Impact, AEW, New Japan.
Yeah, I was getting New Japan for a long time. For some reason, I'm not getting it anymore. But I was watching all that. That's where I was watching Lance Archer over there and Kenny Omega before he signed.
Yeah.
But I watched the AEW. I don't miss that for the most part. If I'll record it and then just, or I'll watch it live depending on what I got going on. And I got a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
And I'll watch the other shows too. It just, if I don't watch them, I'll record them. Or if the next morning I get up and on media and I see something going on. I'll tell you who, Matt Cardona, man, that's my boy right there.
My goodness.
He was awesome, man. I did his show a couple of weeks ago, plugging my new action figure, but I did his show and we had a blast, man.
Before his hardcore match?
Oh, yeah, man. I loved it. Yeah, it was awesome, man. He did. And I told him, man, don't ever turn face again, man.
So what do you think about what are your thoughts on WWE cutting a lot of these wrestlers?
Man, that's either there's a sale, something's going on.
That's what we think.
That's what everybody says, and it could be, or they just don't want to pay anybody like they used to do us. Or I say us, I see a lot of guys. Not everybody fell in that category. So yeah, it could be a combination of a number of things. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
I'm surprised at some of the guys, especially all the, like with when they got rid of Bray. I was surprised, because they put so much television time into him.
Yeah,
I was that one really. I mean, even Braun, that one surprised. Both of those surprised me.
Yeah, we were shocked.
Who would you put on your Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling?
Oh man, of course Flair. I mean, come on. I mean Flair, Stan Hansen.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man, that was my guy. And like I said, I don't know if I said this, but when we won the All Japan titles, he presented them to us.
That was cool.
We were Osaka, man. It was sold out to the rafters, to the top, man. It was just, that was the pinnacle, like I said. So, and I've always been a huge Stan Hansen fan, and Flair, Randy Savage, of course. Man, so many. Brett,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you won me over as soon as you said Brett. I got the Brett now.
We're both Brett Owen marks.
I worked on your shirt there. I've worked 3 of those 4. What does it say? Brett and who? And
Jim and Davey and Brian. Brian Pillman?
Yeah, I didn't work with Pillman, and I didn't work with Neidhart. Or did I work with Neidhart? No, I don't think so. Everybody else I worked with. So, yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.
So you talked action figures. I'm very curious because I love action figures. How can we get your action figure?
Just went on sale midnight on Saturday night. I don't know what the number is or where they're at as far as sales. I know it's been all over my media and on a lot of places. I signed with Cella Toys out of the UK.
Okay.
So it's cellatoys.net. They made the Dynamite Kid figure, and they're making mine, and they did a hell of a job with it. I should have sent you guys some stuff over.
We've been in charge of, put in charge of Adrian Adonis's T-shirt store, and so we were trying to maybe see if Cella would be interested in doing Adrian Adonis as well. So I messaged them, so hopefully they'll get back to me.
Could be, man. Like I said, I feel like I'm a little bit of an ambassador for them a little bit, because we have plans to do Chronic, with the all Japan tag straps, and also maybe even Wrath in one or two different versions, and maybe another bigger version of Adam Bomb. So we're working on a progression.
Get that Bryan Adams action figure in there too.
Man, yeah, well, like I said, I could work with the trademarks that I own. You know what I mean? But they have been phenomenal. I love working with them. I had a couple of other U.S. companies contact me in regards to doing a figure, and Cella just outshined them, man, with the communication, with what they're listening to me. Because I'm real hands-on on all my merchandise. I designed all my T-shirts, everything you see out there. I had it put together just the way I wanted them. That's all I did during COVID was work on merch. So they listened to me about the new figure. Where it's like, if you look at the original one, and it's super expensive. I don't know what it's going for.
Yeah.
But if you look at the Hasbro green card, is way up there. But this new one, it actually has the gloves. And the other one, the old one, original, did not.
Yeah. This
one has removable goggles.
Sweet. And
he has the glowing eyes. None of that was with the original. So it's got everything, man. It's from the '93 Survivor Series, the outfit, the colors for that singlet.
So how did you get the rights to Adam Bomb? Did the WWE just not trademark it again?
They let it roll, and my trademark attorney, I had him on the watch on it for a while. Because I did Chronic back in 2001, and then Wrath not too long after that, and so I was just sort of waiting, and Adam Bomb came up, and I got it. So and that's for action figures, T-shirts, and clothing and that type of merchandise. It's not for Vince has the library, that'll always be his. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's nobody's getting that. And I don't want it anyway. But as far as what I've got now, I'm real happy with it. And I'm also I'm working on a fitness clothing line that it is part of. It's going to be Bomb Gear, and it's workout apparel for men and women.
That's a great name.
Oh yeah, when you see the logo with it, it's going to be coming out real soon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, man, it was a pleasure having you on. You have no idea how excited both of us were that we got you on. We are huge marks for your characters.
I appreciate it. Yeah, man. I'm thrilled to do it, man. And like I said, check out the new Cella action figure at Cella Toys. I'm also at Pro Wrestling Tees. I'm going to go get my plugs in here.
Yeah, go ahead. Plug away, my man.
I had a special guest. I'm trying to... Well, maybe not. I don't know.
Did you have a buddy bomb?
Even better. But she took a powder on me, so I guess that ain't gonna happen. Anyway. Oh yes. Never mind, she's asleep.
How was your dog?
Yeah, I was gonna show you my puppy. She's 1 year old. She's something else. But come here, girl. All right, hold on. Just stand by. Come here. Come here. Come on, we're live. Try to get yourself over for once. Come on.
Oh, she's adorable.
Oh, there we go. It's Lassie.
There's my girl. Look at that.
She's like, "What are you doing, Dad?"
She's basically like, "I cannot believe you got me up for this." That's what she's thinking.
She's like, "What do you want?"
Yeah, I know. Leave me alone. No, she's a Scottish Sheltie. From the Scotland Islands. Yeah. Wonderful dog. Been so good for us during COVID. But yeah, back to plugging stuff. As I was saying, I had to get her over because then I get heat if I don't. Pro Wrestling Tees has all my stuff. Wrestle Merch Central UK has another huge store of mine. And then the new action figure, Cella, is Cella Toys. Yeah. Like I said, great company and really lucky to be working with them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Man, it has been a pleasure having you on. We will have you on again because I'm sure, there's tons of more questions that our fans want to ask and stuff like that. So, but yeah, and from bottom of my heart, I was a huge Adam Braun mark. I used to have one of those Nerf balls, the Nerf missile.
There they are, brother.
I know. I lost mine in a move, and I've looked everywhere for it.
Atom Bomb Chronic.
Yeah.
KRONIK. Atom Bomb Chronic at eBay has everything.
All right, sweet. I know what I'm doing.
Including the goggles, brother.
Nice. I'm gonna get the goggles.
I got it, man. I'm on it.
All right, man. Bryan, thank you very much for coming on. We greatly appreciate it.
Hey.
Oh, and on that note, hey, Canada Dry, has Hulk Hogan ever gone back to you?
Hulk Hogan? Are you kidding me? That guy is never going to answer me. He's never coming on the show. But it's Canada Dry 11, Hulk Hogan 0. Canada Dry out. Ding, ding, ding.